It was good. Okay, so I got copyrighted because I used the Live and Learn music from the movie in this scene. So instead of finding an appropriate song to put in the background, I'm just gonna make a really bad remake with my vocals in the back. So
Your colorful beach.
Live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. Live and learn from the works of yesterday. If you beg or if you borrow, live and learn, you may never find your way. It's been 2 days since I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Okay, so it's been like a month since I saw the movie. Sorry this video took a while to make. I was having so much fun spending the holidays with my family. It's not even sarcasm, it was very nice. It's very peaceful. Anyway, sorry for not uploading in a bit. Anyway, back to the video. And oh my god, it was awesome. It's probably the best experience I've had watching a movie in the theater since I have waited almost 1,000 days to see this film. Not even kidding, look up the date Sonic 2 was released. And finally seeing Keanu Reeves playing Shadow the Hedgehog on the big screen was awesome. Obviously, spoiler warning for anyone who wants to see this movie. And also, if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want spoilers, see it as soon as possible because I was accidentally spoiled on a lot of things before I saw the film. But before I get into all the spoilers, here's my non-spoiler review of Sonic 3. As a Sonic fan, I love it. It's definitely easily the best film in the franchise. IGN is incorrect on everything. It is simply fantastic, and I think even if you're not a big Sonic fan, you'll like it. The action scenes, awesome. Music, great. Jim Carrey, hysterical. There are a couple of cringe jokes, and the pacing is kinda wonky and a bit too fast at points. But I think it was really well done, and some of the emotional scenes are actually really well done. Maria, whoever plays Maria, did a great job at it. All the voice acting great, animation fantastic. I feel like, yeah, my only real big problem is the pacing was sometimes kinda off, and also some of the jokes were kinda cringe. But overall, I think as just a movie itself, it's pretty good. As a Sonic movie, it is peak fiction. It is amazing. In my opinion, I'll give it like an 8 to like a 9 out of 10. I loved it. It was awesome. And alright, if you don't want spoilers, click off right now. Have a good day, do all that stuff I tell you to do at the end of the YouTube video, but just leave, because trust me, I want to talk about the spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Alright, spoiler review incoming. I'm not going to do a synopsis of the film, since I don't really feel like it. Instead, I'm just going to talk about all the main points and my main standouts from the movie after it. First of all, I want to say I really like how they changed Shadow's story to make it a bit more simple. Instead of making it that he was created by Gerald Robotnik, instead what it is that he was just found on a meteor that hit Earth from an alien planet, and I like that. It's way more simple, it makes a lot of sense. I think it connects him more. I'm assuming that they're going to use that as a basis for introducing the Black Arms and Black Doom later in the franchise, and I like that. I think it makes him feel more connected to his past instead of it being like kind of just there. Because I do like Shadow the Hedgehog in the games, although I will say I feel like his connection to the Black Arms doesn't feel as strong as like his connection to Gerald or Maria. This makes it feel like that is just who he is, and I like that. Even though all of this is literally just speculation, and they could never introduce the Black Arms, although I like it if they would. I also think that overall, the action scenes were 1,000 times better than the last two movies. The last 30 minutes of this film was just non-stop awesomeness. It was great. The fight between Super Sonic and Super Shadow, it was peak, to say the least. They were just literally flying all over the planet. They went to the moon. They were just doing absolutely everything, going at the speed of sound, beating each other. It was awesome. Simply said, it was amazing. It was so cool. I do gotta say, I think the writing was also way better. I think the way they made Sonic and Shadow realize that they weren't so different. It's a very like cliche idea that, you know, Shadow and Sonic are similar and different, but I think they actually did a well job executing this sort of cliched thing that happens in a lot of movies. And I think Shadow turning good in this movie was actually better executed than Shadow turning good in the games, Because in the games, he had to be reminded, wait a minute, Maria just told me to not do what I did. But in this one, he thinks on his own, no, Maria didn't tell me anything, but revenge isn't going to solve anything. And he decides on his own that, hey, revenge bad. After Sonic says, hey, revenge bad. And I like that. I think that's really well done. Also, I gotta say, Jim Carrey, absolutely hilarious. He was great throughout the entire movie, especially as two Eggmans. There's this, there's this one scene when Dr. Robotnik meets Gerald Robotnik. They're both played by Jim Carrey, which I thought was pretty funny. And there's one line where they say, we look so similar, almost oddly similar, almost like we're played by the same person in a movie. And then they'll just look at the screen. It was super dumb, but it was really fun. That's basically how I would describe most of the movie, although there are some pretty dramatic and actually really good scenes. The ending was great. It was like, there's nothing more I can say, it was great. Near the end, Eggman and Shadow both sacrifice himself because the Eclipse Cannon is about to essentially explode, and if it does too close to the Earth, then the Earth is gonna also explode. So Shadow pushes it away from Earth as Super Shadow, and Eggman just tries to control it for as long as he can. And also there's a kind of actually pretty well set up and executed emotional scene where Eggman sends basically an announcement to Earth being like, hey, Agent Stone, I'm sorry I treated you wrongly. You were a decent friend, and then he just blows up, and I was like, dang, you really can act, Jim Carrey. It was just a really fun experience throughout. As I said, there are a couple of cringe jokes, but still, Sonic 3 takes everything that was good from the previous movies and amps it up so much. It's great. Voice acting, boom. Animation, boom. Everything was great. And I gotta say, I love this film. It's everything I wanted and so much more. So yeah, that's basically all I really have to say. I've been sort of kind of vague even when talking about spoilers because I want people to see this movie. I want them to experience the pure awesomeness of it. It is great. I want them to experience the 4 deaths that happen. Oh yeah, speaking of deaths, this movie has a lot of death, surprisingly. Gerald dies, Tom almost dies, Shadow doesn't die. There's an after credit scene, he doesn't die. But he dies for a bit. I think the general from Sonic 2 dies. There's just a surprising amount of almost. Oh yeah, Maria's dead too. There's a surprise. Oh my god, there's a surprising amount of almost to death in this film, and it's kind of hysterical. But yeah, that's essentially my review. Very good. I recommend it. You should see it. It's awesome. Yeah. Sonic 3. I love it. Yeah. Bye. Oh yeah, if you're wondering what the after credit scene was, it was Metal Sonic showing up. It was pretty cool. There were a bunch of Metal Sonics all surrounding Sonic. It was pretty cool. I liked it. Oh yeah, also Amy Rose. I screamed in the theater.